We are live. Who's there? Hello? So it's 1 minute to 6. So I will be waiting to see how many people are going to be there. 3 people now. This is great. Welcome, whoever you are. I can see it from here. So what I'm doing right now, oh, Mary Shu, I'm here, Mary in Michigan. Hi, Mary. Kathy, hi. Welcome. So happy to have you here. So first thing I wanted to do and say, oh, Paula, hi. So is this the following. I would like you to tell me and to write in the comments in the course of this live session or afterwards. Oh, hello from Pennsylvania. As I said, you should tell me what time is your favorite time for these classes, because I'm not so very sure. I know that most of my followers are from the US, so it's a big country, so I don't know what time is the best for you. So I don't want you to have to join in the middle of the night or something like that. So, oh, 7 people? That's not bad. So I don't want to keep it too long today. First, because of the times. As I said, I don't know if this time is a problem for most of you. I would like to know. Another thing, as you maybe have noticed, I'm using my mobile phone so as to be able to speak to you and showing you my face, so face to face, let's say, and also be able to show you what my hands are doing while we're crocheting. Another thing I wanted to say is this is my first live class ever, so I will probably be making many mistakes. I don't know how these things should be held or done. I tried to look at different classes or crochet alongs on YouTube, but I don't know. So whatever you would like me to do or write or tell you, please write in the comments, whatever you prefer, okay? What next? What else? So I would say, yes, I think many asked me if I will be recording this live session and keep it among my videos. And the answer is yes, I think I will. Carol from Michigan, hi. So tell me if you can, what time you have in your different countries and states, if you have a good weather or bad weather, just for a chat. And then we'll start right away. I'm just waiting a couple of minutes, just so as to let people join if they want. So meanwhile, I could tell you a couple of things. So the tools you are going to need for this class, as I wrote in the description, you will need a Tunisian crochet hook. That is to say, you probably know if you follow me that I love to use regular crochet hooks for Tunisian crochet because they are more, they're handier. It's 12 noon in Michigan, so this is a good time, unless you have to eat soon, I don't know. As I said, regular crochet hooks, but for this project it is not possible to use a short normal crochet hook because we're going to pull up many loops on the hook. We're going to make a cardigan. Okay, I'm reading your comments right now. Kathy Earhart, bright and sunny in Pittsburgh. Glad to hear. So tools you're going to need this, so a straight long Tunisian crochet hook in size 4, which is I think a size 8 in UK and G6 in the US, in the United States. So either a Tunisian crochet hook, long and straight, or a cabled one. So something like this. A Tunisian crochet hook in size 4 millimeters with a long cable. Okay. Also, we are going to need, I did not write this in the description, so we are going to need stitch markers, and then you are going to need, me as well, because I'm making the project with you again, a row counter. Kathy, dark and rainy in Germany. Oh, dann könnten wir Deutsch sprechen. Nein, das könnte ich jetzt nicht. And what else? So, the yarn I'm using. Many asked about the yarn. This is actually up to you. I am going to use this. So this is by a Spanish yarn company called Musa Yarns. They provided me with this fantastic merino yarn. So I want to show you the label so that you can make your calculations. It's this. It's 100% merino yarn, 50 grams. So the yardage. The yardage is not written here. Can it be? No, yes. It's about 219 yards for 50 grams, 200 meters about for one ball of yarn. And what else? So in the label it is written that it's ideal for a 2.5 millimeters hook, regular crochet hook. But as you know, in Tunisian crochet we always go up at least to 1 or 1.5 hook size, so as to be able to produce a fine and loose texture that is not too rigid, let's say. So this is why we are going to use a 4 millimeters hook. Okay. So what else? I think we could start already right away. So number of stitches you should chain. You should chain 83 stitches, a chain of 83 stitches, which I have done already. So now, if it's fine for you, I'm going to turn the camera upside down and show you what I am doing with my hands. Okay? I think today we are going to make the first couple of rows or so. Please tell me in the comments if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow. And if you don't understand something, please tell me. After the live class, I will leave the instructions, the pattern of the work we have done so far in the live class. So don't worry if you stay behind. You can always read the instruction in the description and do what you haven't been able to do. So now it's time to start. I will just pick up the row counter that my cat pushed. So sorry. So let's try this procedure and you will tell me if it works. So I hope you are able to see everything. So here I have my row, my row of 83 stitches. This is it, so I'll give you the time to start and make this chain of 83 stitches, okay? And after you've made the initial chain, I'm going to show you how to pull up loops from the initial chain from the so-called back bump or the back bar of the of each chain. Okay. Now I have entangled my cabled hook, which I'm not using. Just wanted to show it to you from my yarn. So let's see if I can. It has an extremely long cable, so okay. So now I will proceed. I have my 83 chains, as I said. Now this is the chain. This is the front of the chain. So if you turn the chain slightly, you can see the back bumps. Can you see them? It's here. So the first one, the first loop on the hook, as you know, already counts as stitch number 1. We are going to look for the next best back bump of the second stitch. So the second stitch is this one, so we are going behind it there. It is always a little bit complicated, at least for me. So can you see it? It's this one. So you yarn over, pull through and drop a loop, which is going to be loop stitch number 2. Okay. The reason we are beginning with like this, so by pulling up loops from the back bump, is that it helps taming the curling, the typical curling of Tunisian crochet. So this is one procedure we are going to make. Okay, so I will be going to pull up loops from the initial chain of 83, inserting the hook in the back bumps of each chain across. Okay, I have 4 and so on. As I was saying, it is, for me at least, always a little bit of a nuisance having to pull up loops from the back bumps of the initial chain, because I find it difficult to manage in a way. In this case, it is a little bit easier for me because I have used this chain already. I have made tests of this project, at least a couple of rows, so as to be quite sure not to make mistakes with you. And so my back bumps are very well defined. I can see them very well now, so it's no problem at all to insert the hook there. There you go. So the initial chain is actually a rather short one. We are going to pull up many more loops, row after row. with the increases we are making, but I think it's the right size because this is not a cardigan that is going to be closed with buttons. I want to leave it open and with no buttons in front. I am already using the one I've made and photographed and you've seen in my Instagram feed, and it sits wonderfully. Maybe with this one I'm going to make a longer cardigan. So I don't know how quick you are. I am not a fast crocheter, I'm afraid, so be patient. Okay, we are almost at the end of the chain. So I'm afraid my cats will soon start meowing so as to disturb us in our class. I hope not, but I'm sure they will, because they are small little, how do you say it? Naughty beasts. So this may be a little bit boring at first to drop loops from the beginning chain, but at least for me, starting over with a new project is the most exciting part of a job. I always love to start new projects. I tend to get bored when I'm in the middle of a project mostly. I don't know about you. So let's see. Okay. Almost there. Try not to make mistakes here, because it could show a bit. And I'm a perfectionist. Okay, so here we are. So this is the foundation row of the project. Okay. So now we are going to make the return pass, which is the standard one. Okay, so as you know, we are going to yarn over and pull through one loop only first. Then we yarn over again and pull through two loops together. And we repeat this second movement until we have cast off all loops from the hook, and we remain with just one. This way we are completing our foundation row, which counts for me always as row number 1. This is the part of my videos which I usually speed up, because there is nothing to say. the movement itself is quite satisfying, I feel, but it's quite boring to watch, especially when you have so many stitches, so many loops to cast off, right? But now I cannot speed up, and as I said, I'm a rather slow crocheter. There will be a part of the job as we proceed with the project that you will be making alone by yourself as soon as you understand how the pattern works. And with my written instructions, and then we will see how far you can go by yourself if you have any difficulties, etc. It also depends what sizes you are. Me, I'm a size XL, extra large, but a size S will close the yoke much sooner. So here I have my first row. I hope you are there too. Hi to the followers that have joined in right now. I have just made a foundation row in Tunisian crochet of 83 stitches. This counts as row number 1 for me. This is the cardigan project, the Queen of Spades cardigan project. So now I have my instructions here. Another boring thing we have to do now before we proceed with row number 2. So we are, first of all, as soon as the row is finished, what do we have to do? We have to use our row counter. So this is row number 1, so we don't forget. As I was saying, the next boring thing is we now have to place stitch markers that are going to mark the places that separate the front parts from the sleeves part and from the back part, okay? So I will show you quickly on my finished project. We are here, okay? This is the yoke. How should I show you? We are doing this part here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think so. Anyway, let's place the stitch markers. So now we need to do some counting. We will place the first stitch marker in the 5th stitch from the hook, with the loop, with the first vertical bar under the loop on the hook, counting as stitch number 1 in this case. So we are going to count, so 1, so from this one we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here we are going to place our stitch marker, the first one. Don't worry if you don't have the stitch markers right now. This is just let's say a visual aid for you and for me to know where the separations are. For example, when I did the project, I did not use any stitch markers, so don't worry too much. But if you have them, they could be rather useful right now. So this is the 5th stitch, stitch number 5. Then from here we are going to count until stitch 25. So this was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is right here. So this is boring, but it is very important not to make mistakes. The next stitch marker we will place in stitch 59. Okay, so this is going to be the back part. 59, so this was 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. This is stitch 59, and I will place my third stitch marker here. And the last stitch marker is going to be placed in stitch 79. So let's make it like that. 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. Okay, so this is the 79th. And it is correct because from here we have 80, 81, 82, and 83 as border stitch. So if you have placed your stitch markers and if you are ready to go on, let's proceed with row number 2. So in row number 2, it is very easy. Once again, we are using a little trick so as to avoid any sort of curling in Tunisian crochet. So we are working a row in Tunisian purl stitch, okay, across. But we are increasing around this marked stitches, and we are increasing using the purl increase, which I will show you right away. So Tunisian purl stitch, as you know, is done by bringing the yarn to the front, inserting the hook under the first vertical bar, bring the yarn to the back again, yarn over, pull through, and drop a loop on the hook. Okay, so we are proceeding until right before the first marked stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are right before the first marked stitch. Now we are going to increase, as I said, right around this vertical bar, but in Tunisian purl stitch. So if you have seen my video on how to increase using the purl stitch, it's done like this. It is very simple. It's actually like a purl stitch. So you prepare for a Tunisian purl stitch, and then you go insert the hook here through the horizontal bar that's right between the marked stitch and the previous stitch, the one that's already worked. Okay, so you go there and make a purl stitch. Then you worked into the marked stitch in Tunisian purl stitch, like so. And then you make another increase in Tunisian purl stitch, again inserting the hook through the horizontal bar here. Okay, So we have added 2 stitches here around our stitched marker. Is everything clear? Now we proceed until the next stitch marker in purl stitch. I know the purl stitch is not a beloved stitch, let's say. It's not a stitch that is loved by anybody, but in this case I usually love to start my Tunisian crochet projects with a row or a round in Tunisian purl stitch, again to avoid the curling. And I usually like to finish my projects in Tunisian purl stitch as well, for the very same reason. Here we are. I hope you are following me, that everything's clear. If you have any doubts or difficulties, please write either in the comments, in the chat of this live session, or in the comments section of the video itself. The problem with my mobile is that by using it like that and showing you my hands, I am not able to read your comments very easily. But I don't see any other way to make this. Maybe, I don't know how else I could do this. So now I am approaching my next marked stitch, and once again I'm going to repeat what I have done previously. So right before the marked stitch I'm going to stop, and now I'm going to add the increases in purl stitch just like before. So make a purl stitch through the horizontal bar here. Can you see it? I'm going just under 1 small bar. Okay, and making a purl stitch. Then I make a purl stitch in the marked stitch itself, and then I'm adding another purl stitch through the horizontal bar here. And now once again we proceed in purl stitch. As I said, this is a little bit boring, but it's let's say a solid start, solid base for our project. It also creates a kind of collar or neckline, let's say, that is not just plain, but it has some kind of small decoration with this row in Tunisian purl stitch. I hope you can hear me well as well. Especially the Tunisian purl stitch is for sure not a quick stitch, at least not for me. Also, you can see from the way I hold my yarn and the hook that maybe this is something that limits my speed in a way. So don't forget, after after this live class, to leave in the comments where you're from, maybe, and what time would be most favorable for you. Of course, I cannot follow everybody's advice, so I must make compromises. So depending on how many of you are from a certain area, I can try and set a time that is more favorable for you. Okay, now we are approaching the next marked stitch. Here it is. So we are right before the next marked stitch. And just like before, we are going to add 2 stitches in Tunisian purl stitch by going through the horizontal bar purlwise and adding 1 stitch before the marked stitch and 1 stitch right after it. Okay, we are almost at the end of our forward pass. We will continue in purl stitch. My goal today is to work another row number 3, which is the actual beginning of the leafy design, let's say. The design with the spades motifs. And then row number 4 will be a repetition of row number 3. So you can make it by yourselves. And then today I'm going to stop here. As soon as we are ready, we are finished with row number 3. And then in the next classes, I will probably be able to stay with you longer, as long as necessary, let's say. But I promise, even the spades design is really not so complicated, and once you learn the pattern, it is rather repetitive, and you will be able to make it even by yourselves. Here I have my cat meowing, of course, just like I anticipated, because I have closed the door and cats do not want any closed doors, of course. So now I am right before my last marked stitch, and just like before, I will make an increase before it in Tunisian purl stitch going through the horizontal bar. Then I will work a purl stitch in the marked stitch, and I will add another increase in purl stitch right after the marked stitch going through the horizontal bar, like so. Then I will finish my remaining stitches, and as always, complete my forward pass with a neat closing stitch which is done, as you know, by going not only under the vertical bar, the border vertical bar here, but also under its back bar. So, can you see it? And then I make our standard return pass. Before, well, I will drop a loop from the border stitch, and then I will perform the return pass, which is the standard one. Okay. I think right after the return pass, I am going to open the door to my cat so that it stops meowing and disturbing us and annoying us. My fault it was to close them here with me in this room. But they were sleeping before. I have two cats, you know. This is the male cat, and then I have a female cat. And she is much much calmer, let's say. While he is an extremely nervous cat, a black cat. So now I am wondering, for example, if you are seeing me working straight, or if the video is upturned. I will discover it afterwards. Please tell me if there are any problems with the video itself, with the audio, with the volume, with everything. Please tell me in the comments. This would help me improve the quality of my next classes. Okay? As I said, this is my first live class ever. Actually, I have never taught Tunisian crochet, or crochet for that matter, to anyone, not even live, except from my video tutorials, of course. I don't know, I like to teach, but I don't know if I'm a good teacher. And I don't know if this crochet along thing is supposed to be done like this or not. Anyway, here I am at the end of row number 2. So I will be turning my row counter, and I'm going to open the door to my cat. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I am going to turn up the phone. Hong Kong is the night. Your video is so good. I just learned more. Good night. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so I hope you're all following. As I said, I am going forward now with row number 3, which is going to be more fun. This is where the fun begins. Okay, so are you ready? Let's go. So back again. Okay, so in row number 3, we are going with the stitch pattern. So let's make sure that everything is straight. So now, here the sequence of stitches that I'm going to use may appear a little bit complicated, but it all makes sense in the end, I promise. And moreover, If you feel that you are missing some stitches, that you don't know what I'm doing or anything, be assured that at the end of this live class, I will be writing the instructions in the description of this video. So you are able to make up what you have missed, okay? So we are going to start with a Tunisian knit stitch in this very first stitch. So as you know, Tunisian knit stitch is you are going to insert the hook right between the front vertical bar and the back vertical bar of a stitch, like so. Yarn over, pull through and drop a loop. So this is my knit stitch. Now we are going to make 2 Tunisian purl stitches in the next 2 stitches. One and 2. Okay, now we have reached the first separation place where I put my stitch marker. And here where I have done my 2 increases before, I'm going to work 3 Tunisian simple stitches in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So these 3 simple stitches are going to be the separation for each section. So this was section number 1. This is the front part of the cardigan. This is going to be the front part of the cardigan. Then separation made by 3 simple stitches. Now we're going to work in the section that is going to be the sleeves section. And once again, we are going to work 2 purl stitches, 1, 2, then 1 Tunisian knit stitch and 2 purl stitches again, 1 and 2. Now we are going to make 9 Tunisian knit stitches in the next 9 stitches. So beginning from here, 9 knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now once again 2 purl stitches, 1 knit stitch, and again 2 purl stitches. So once again, here I have reached my separation, let's say, zone, where I will work my 3 simple stitches in the next 3 stitches that were made from the marked stitch plus the 2 increases made in the previous row. Now, this is the longest section, which is going to form the back of the cardigan. So once again, we will start with 2 purl stitches, followed by a knit stitch and 2 purl stitches. There you go. Now we will make 9 Tunisian knit stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we have again 2 purl stitches, followed by a knit stitch, followed by 2 purl stitches, 1, 2, then another 9 knit stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then once again 2 purl stitches, a knit stitch, 2 purl stitches, now we have our separation area here, so we will make 3 Tunisian simple stitches. I hope you can all see. Once again, I think you can already see that we are repeating the same number of stitches in a repetition mode. So we are going to make now 2 purl stitches in the next 2 stitches, a knit stitch, 2 purl stitches. What do you want? Leave me alone. So here we have reached again the second sleeve part. So we are going to repeat specularly, mirror-like, what we have done in the first part of the forward pass. So now we are going to work 9 stitches in Tunisian knit stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we are going to make again 2 purl stitches, and you know already what comes next. 1 knit stitch and 2 purl stitches. Now we have our last separation area where we are working our 3 Tunisian simple stitches. 1, 2, 3, and finally the front part. Let's say we are going to work 2 purl stitches, 1, 2, 1 knit stitch, and here our neat closing stitch, like always, and return pass. So now I am going to give you a little bit of time. So let's get back face to face. Very good. Hello all, I'm Diana from Argentina. I lost the beginning. Don't worry, Diana Chiaccio. I'm going to leave the instructions of what we have done today in the description of this live class. I'm going to finish here for now. We have almost an hour. We have done almost an hour. What we have done so far, we have practically finished row number 3. The return pass I left out because it's the standard one. I have my cats in the background that are making a lot of fuss and noise. In row number 4, as I said, you have to repeat row number 3 exactly like that. So I think this is enough for today. It's enough work. It may seem a little work, but this is the very beginning of the project. So don't worry. Next time, I would say in about 2 weeks' time, same day, please tell me what you think about this. If it's enough, or if you want me to make weekly, let's say, dates or not, or in 2 weeks' time it's better or not, please tell me. And as I said, I will leave the written instructions of the first 4 rows in the description of this video. I hope the experiment was a successful one, that you could follow me well enough, that it was not too boring, that it was fast enough or slow enough. I don't know. Please tell me what you think, and remember to make suggestions for the timetable in the comments below. I promise next time is going to be more exciting. We are going to make the spades design, so really, and that's it, I would say. I thank you so much for being present. It means so much to me. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to leave the instructions. Maybe right now, maybe tomorrow in the morning. I don't know if I have time right now. I'll try to make it right now. Kathy, thank you so much. So I will leave you to your to the rest of your day. Thank you again, and see you next time. Bye bye.